Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome to the new patch of MK11. I'm just in the middle of my stream going over all of the most kind of like significant changes, all the character changes and stuff. And we've been looking at some of these general gameplay changes that have really, in my opinion, added a lot of like quality of life benefits to the game. And there are two changes in particular that I think really are impactful to every player and every character. So I'm going to go over those two specific patch notes right now for you guys, because I think these are, of everything I've seen so far, these are by far the two most important things for the general player, because these literally affect everyone. And these patches are as follows. We have the first thing, which is increase the button input buffer window when exiting a block hit reaction from 2 to 5 frames. That might have just gone over a load of you guys' heads, but allow me to explain. That's not as complicated as it sounds. So in Mortal Kombat 11, there is a feature where when you get hit by something and you're blocking it and you come out of block stun, you can obviously input attacks out of block stun. What this means is if I set Noob Saibot to do like, I don't know, let's set it to do this like with the tackle, right? So that's an unsafe move at point blank range, right? So it's unsafe if I, hit him with something and just do back one, that should be unsafe. Yeah, there you go, see, that's a punish. So in this game, when I'm coming out of block stun, if I input a special move during the block stun, look at the timing. I'm inputting the special move now, like, now. As you can see, now, I'm not even close to doing the special move at the time when it comes out. Because when you do a special move out of block stun, there is a huge window where you can just do a special move, and as long as you've done a special move in that window of time before you come out of block stun, the game will give you the special move as a reversal. So if you look on the left hand side of the screen, if I do the special move like this, you see it says reversal punish. That's because I've input the special move during coming out of block stun frames, and the game sees the special move, says, okay, special move, this is a reversal, comes out on the first available frame, so that will be an easy way to punish a lot of things, right? If the special move is fast enough, that's like an easy way of just getting a straight up, do the move, do the special move, get a small punish, or do something like that, and that's how it works. The reason this change is such a big deal for buttons is because normal attacks, like normal buttons, do not have that. Like if I block this and press like now, nothing comes out. If I press standing 1 to punish now, nothing comes out, right? But beforehand, there was a 2-frame window to input special, sort of standard buttons to give you that kind of like automatic timing. But because it's 2 frames, you'd barely notice it. It really was difficult. It really was quite inconsistent for a lot of players, because that was very tight. It made punishing moves that are like -8, -9 very difficult, because you'd almost have to like get a frame perfect punish on it. And to demonstrate why this is good for buttons, I'm going to record Noob Saibot doing his 113. This is -8 on block, so this is one of the strings that, whilst yes it was unsafe before, -8 made it a very, very tight punish window. Frost has a 7-frame standing 1, so before punishing this was very difficult. Now, you'll see, punish. That worked before, but beforehand, I mean, look at the timing. Like, look at when I'm doing the input. Like, I'm doing the button way before I come out of block stun, and because the window is now 5 frames instead of 2 frames, it is now so much easier to use fast buttons to punish barely unsafe strings and specials like that. This is something that affects every single player in the game and has multiple applications. So the biggest one is punishes things that are normally really hard to punish are now easier. So again, this -8 string, well, yes, punishable before, now, if I do it right, now it's absolutely punishable. And with a character like Frost, obviously you're doing a decent chunk of damage every time. Now, because this works for coming out of block stun, this has multiple applications. The first one is punishing moves on block that are normally really hard to punish, now are easier to punish. But this also kind of has like a double-edged effect. Now, in the counter poke game, this will mean that if someone's mashing pokes on you, their first poke will be easier for them to get out because they now have a bigger window to get that poke out, but only the first one. If you're mashing pokes into pokes, the second poke is the same. So like if I have a Noob Saibot doing like, let's just make him do down one, right? He's now going to get that first button out a lot faster out of my block stun, because obviously this will help him do that. But if I now defend against that first poke, right, like that down 1 is -4 on block. and I have a 11 frame back 1. So provided I do this right, you see, if because that now comes out of block stun so much faster, if I block his poke and I know he's gonna poke again, my button will come out so much faster than it did before. So counter poking against these mashed pokes is going to be so much easier for you. The downside is you now have to be much more on point with your plus frame. So if I'm playing someone like Frost, right, and I do my standing 2-2, which is +5 on block. So if I make him, you know, try and if I think he's going to mash out on my plus frames, like if I just have him like custom wise, if I just have him just blocking, and, you know, he blocks my 2-2, which is +5. If he's going to mash a poke out of this, he has a bit more of a window to get the poke out, because obviously it's easier to get buttons out of block stun now. But if I'm on point and he mashes, I'm still going to be able to frame trap him here. But that leads me on to my next point of the next change, which I think is something the game has needed since day one, and I'm so happy to see it be in now. And it is this thing right here. It is all of this. Practice options and custom get-ups and whatnot. You now could record specific things for the AI to do in practice mode. This is a huge buff to practice mode in MK11. Now, I'm going to quickly sum up. So the list is practice mode, AI options, custom, block attack options. You can now change these, sure. But the big one here is there is a new recording slot to be used. If you're going to try and record the opponent to do something specific, you can now do custom get-up and custom reversal. So this is huge, and I'm now going to show you exactly why that is. Now, if I want to record someone doing a specific button, like, for example, down 1 or standing 1, whatever it is, usually if people are going to wake up with buttons, it's going to be down 1, or if they're going to mash out a block stun, it's down 1. You can now simulate the AI doing just that. If you go to record, recording slot, custom get up reversal, and I now just record Noob Cybot doing down 1. Now if I go to AI options, reversal mode, reversal's on, custom reversal, custom get up. What this now means is I've now made him reversal down 1 on the first available frame. I've made him wake up down 1 on the first available frame. This is a massive buff for training mode overall. If you're a player that you hate people mashing pokes on you, you hate people mashing buttons on wake up, this is your way at learning how to deal with it. Because if I now set him to wake up with buttons, right, and I want to practice my meaty timing, and I like knock him over, he's going to mash down 1 on wake up. So that's something that players do all the time, which means that if I now know the game is going to make him do that, there you go. That is a perfectly timed meaty. You saw the counter hit. I have him set to wake up buttons. Counter hit again. Because you know he's going to mash on the first available frame, you can now perfectly simulate your meaty timings without having to do all these like weird backwards things, getting a second controller, you know, going into online training mode, because even that like was never going to be like pinpoint accurate. This is a way of guaranteeing that the AI is going to do these annoying things exactly when you want them. And again, to do that, you go to record, you set the recording slot to the new change, which is custom get up and custom reversal. When you've recorded it, down 1, stop recording. You now go back to custom, and you go reversal attack, custom reversal, get up attack, custom get up. And you can make this any button. If you want to test them chasing you down with a long range button, you can do this. If you want to make them reversal with a throw, or down 1, standing 1, their fastest button, their fastest mid, whatever you want to do, this is how you do it. And for a character like Frost, this is really useful, because if I now have him blocking, right? He is now going to block my. He is now going to block my. He is now going to block my plus frames. If I get him to block the second hit, it's kind of weird because if he's set to do it all the time, he's going to constantly try and interrupt. Right, he is going to try and interrupt my plus frames with a down 1, right? So if I'm like at a range where he's going to do that, this now means that his 7 frame down 1 and my +5, I can now properly lab this to get the frame trap, right? I did that like a frame too late because we traded, but now this means that you can lab that. You can perfect your frame traps to make sure that this all works. And that's actually the main thing I wanted to talk about in this video, right? This is It might not look like much, but these two changes are huge for every player. If you want to improve at MK11, you want to get better at practice mode, you want to get better at replicating annoying scenarios that people do to you online or in tournament, this is now your absolute best way of doing it. Because now you are better equipped at dealing with mashed pokes because of the ability to press buttons out of block stun. You are much better equipped at perfecting your frame traps because you can make people reversal on the first available frame with like fast buttons and pokes and everything that annoys you as a player. You now have the tools to deal with that. Now, this won't mean that it's not going to be a problem for you as a player, but it now means that if you really want to just sit there in practice mode and figure out what are my options, right? You want to look at the frame data, you want to see this is -5 and I've got this fast mid, so maybe I can hit him out of it, maybe I can stop the mashing, maybe I can get this before his double down one. All of those annoying scenarios you can now lab against. Now, this is quite a quick video, but I wanted to just get this out of the way because I think these are genuinely two of the best changes in this patch, absolutely. And I hope that this video has helped you understand what these changes mean, and hopefully you can apply them to your own game, because this is huge, and I think everyone should be able to improve themselves as a player now by doing these exact changes. So peace out, guys, and have fun with the patch.